Good Thursday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it over the hump, and we're in the home stretch tour at the weekend. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Thursday. We have a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with J.R. Jones of Accountable Card, discussing the importance of financial literacy. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Thursday headlines. In national news, fourth grade Uvalde survivor says, "I don't want it to happen again." An 11-year-old girl who survived the mass shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, recounted in video testimony to Congress on Wednesday how she covered herself with a dead classmate's blood to avoid being shot and just stayed quiet. The fourth grader at Robb Elementary School told lawmakers in a pre-recorded video that she watched a teacher get shot in the head before looking for a place to hide. "I thought he would come back, so I covered myself in blood," the student told the House panel. "I put it all over me and I just stayed quiet." She called 911 using the deceased teacher's phone and pleaded for help. 19 children and 2 teachers died when an 18-year-old gunman opened fire with an AR-15 style rifle inside Robb Elementary School on May 24th. It was the second day lawmakers heard wrenching testimony on the nation's gun violence. On Tuesday, a Senate panel heard from the son of an 86-year-old woman killed when a gunman opened fire in a racist attack on shoppers in Buffalo, New York. 10 people died in that attack. In the video Wednesday, the student's father asked his daughter if she feels safe at school anymore. She shook her head no. "Why?" he asked. "I don't want it to happen again," she responded. The testimony at the House Oversight Committee came as lawmakers worked to strike a bipartisan agreement on gun safety measures in the aftermath of back-to-back mass shootings. But as some lawmakers shed tears alongside the witnesses, the hearing displayed the contentious debate over gun control Congress has faced repeatedly after mass shootings. Several Republicans turned the conversation to the individuals who abuse guns and how hardening schools could help protect students. The parents of victims and survivors implored lawmakers not to let their children's deaths and pain be in vain. After the student spoke, her father told lawmakers that he testified because "I could have lost my baby girl." The Democratic-led House is expected to pass legislation that would raise the age limit for purchasing a semi-automatic rifle and prohibit sale of ammunition magazines with a capacity of more than 10 rounds. But the legislation has almost no chance of becoming law as the Senate pursues negotiations focused on improving mental health programs, bolstering school security, and enhancing background checks. The House bill does allow Democratic lawmakers a chance to frame for voters in November where they stand on policies that polls show appeal to a majority. Majorities of U.S. adults think mass shootings would occur less often if guns were harder to get, and that schools and other public places have become less safe than they were 2 decades ago. In more national news, armed man arrested for threat to kill Justice Kavanaugh. A man carrying a gun, a knife, and zip ties was arrested Wednesday near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house in Maryland after threatening to kill the justice. The 26-year-old was charged with the attempted murder of a Supreme Court justice. During a court hearing, he consented to remain in federal custody for now. The suspect was dressed in black when he arrived by taxi just after 1 a.m. outside Kavanaugh's home in Washington suburb. He had a Glock 17 pistol, ammunition, a knife, zip ties, pepper spray, duct tape, and other items that he told police he would use to break into Kavanaugh's house and kill him, according to a criminal complaint and an affidavit filed in federal court in Maryland. The suspect said he purchased the gun to kill Kavanaugh and that he also would kill himself, the affidavit said. In more national news, Arizona executes Frank Atwood for 1984 killing of young girl. An Arizona man convicted of murder in the 1984 killing of an 8-year-old girl was put to death Wednesday in the state's second execution since officials resumed carrying out the death penalty in May following a nearly 8-year hiatus. Frank Atwood, 66, died by lethal injection at the state prison in Florence for his murder conviction in the killing of Vicki Lynn Hoskinson, whose body was found in the desert. Vicki Lynn went missing months earlier after leaving her home in Tucson to drop a birthday card off in the mailbox. The Supreme Court cleared the way for Atwood's execution Wednesday morning after rejecting a final appeal by his lawyers. He died at 10:16 a.m., and witnesses reported that the execution went smoothly. In entertainment news, Jennifer Lopez and Halftime kick off Tribeca Festival. The Jennifer Lopez documentary Halftime kicked off the 21st Tribeca Festival on Wednesday, launching the annual New York event with an intimate behind-the-scenes portrait of the singer-actor, filmed during the tumultuous year she turned 50, co-headlined the Super Bowl and narrowly missed out on an Oscar nomination. And finally, in business news, stocks fall as choppy trading persists on Wall Street. Stocks fell broadly on Wall Street Wednesday, erasing most of their gains for the week as investors were discouraged to see more evidence of inflation's impact on businesses and another gloomy outlook on the global economy. The losses follow several bumpy days for markets, with major indexes often lurching between gains and losses by the hour. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words That Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Thursday, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Words That Choose to Live By from my book, Words That Choose to Live By, page 2. Your imperfections are only a daily reminder that you still have work to do. Continue to strive and thrive, making what seems impossible a possibility. Have an amazing Thursday. J.R. Jones is in today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. J.R. Jones of Accountable Card joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his love of financial literacy and how it has helped him to succeed. Here's a bit of our conversation. When did you first realize the importance of that, of being in control of your finances?
Oh, Cyrus, I don't know how far I can go back, man. It's been some years, been some time. My degree is in banking, finance, and economics. So I've been in finance pretty much all of my life, coming out of college. And I spent 17 years with American Express and financial advisors. So I've been offering financial advice for over 17 years in my early years. As a financial advisor at American Express, I'm a certified financial planner. So finance has always been important because economics is important to our country, but more so to our community. I mean, we are a capitalistic society, and those who manage and understand the economy, understand how it works, understand finance more specifically, and understand what we used to say is how do you build your financial life through just some really simple ways of managing budgets. So. Yeah. For me, it's been important for quite a long time.
For you to want to spend that much time, not only, of course, to be able to work in that industry, but to get that education, you have to realize the importance. What do you think helped you to do that? Because I think that's one of the big issues for people of all ages today. They don't realize the importance of, not only, of course, being financially aware, but also realizing the importance of knowing about finances when it comes to life. So what do you think kind of helped you to kind of lead in that direction?
Again, I'm kind of unique because I was educated in that direction. But, coming up in the Mississippi Delta, coming up as a good old po' boy, you realize that our parents pitched pennies. They didn't have a lot, but we did not go without need. So when you say what makes you aware of the need for financial literacy, it's actually just living and wanting more and want to be able to provide and want to be able to do more.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back to guys on tomorrow to wrap up this week. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.